showing up super early. Look at you. Dom showing up early. I love it. You guys like sitting around just waiting. Lee's here early. I love it. We got Keith Beaupre up on the right and John Lescarbeau up on the left, starting it all off tonight. Friday Night Pro League Metro Bowl at Riverwalk Lanes. You're like the third person. Oh no, it gives me a notification when you show up, Lee. It gives me a notification when you're up. All right, both guys just a little off the headpin right now. Both a little bit to the left. That was a good ball. Good ball. Good try from Keith. John missing way to the left that time. You're too much a member of the team, so you know it just keeps showing up. Oh, absolutely. I love streaming bowling. The more people get to see Candlepin bowling, the better. Not enough people know what this is, so it's great to be here. More likes can attract viewers, it says, so we got more viewers than likes so far. That's never a good start. Never a good start. There's a great ball from John Lescarbeau. Right in the pocket. If you are only used to 10-pin, Candlepin it's like a different world. There you go. Nice shot from Keith Beaupre. And Lescarbeau matched them spare for spare. Kecyk on the right versus Lawless on the left. Kecyk was on the Riverwalk team during the mixed Candlepin pros that were happening in Academy Lanes this past, June? Great ball from Al. Right in the pocket for Matt Lawless, leaving just the 7-pin standing. Al off to the left. Just the 7-pin makes that. Good spare to start. 2 out of 3 marks for Riverwalk to start it up. Life has been good this week, I guess. Like I said, last weekend my best friend was here, so I got to spend 3 days with her. It was so much fun. Other than that, it's been a quiet week, pretty much, but it was a really good weekend. Oh, we did all the classic, touristy stuff. Another spare from Matt Lawless. My vehicle, oh no. So we had the $1,900 repair, then it went back in for another $600 in repairs, and the check engine light is still on. So we're working on it. We're working on it, Lee. Max is doing great. I think he's down in Rhode Island for the weekend or something. I don't know where he is. All I know is I was told I wasn't going to be able to see him for a few days. So it was leaking coolant, which the coolant was going into the turbo, so the turbo needed a bunch of repairs. That was really hard to take that off. So it was very labor intensive to get to it. Then it needed 4 new tires and the coil spring in the back. Just a lot of little things, and the check engine light is again part of the turbo. There's like a flap that gets stuck open once in a while, and that needs to get fixed. Otherwise, it's not breathing properly, and then the check engine light comes on. Gacharna was up on the right, JT on the left. It's just what happens when you have a 12-year-old car. A nice spare for Lou. but yeah, luckily Max paid for all of it, and I'm just going to pay him back half. Because he drives it more than I do anyway, so he said he'd just pay for everything right now, and then I can pay him back half. Which I thought was pretty nice of him. So I don't have to come up with the money right away. Aaron St. Cyr up on the right versus Chris Kaz on the left. What's going on, Skip? Good to see you. Whoa, Chris Kaz dropping that ball hard. Quite the bounce on that ball. Aaron St. Cyr got the 4 horsemen plus 1 in the back. Couldn't quite make it. Oh, wait for it. Wait. Oh, it curved into the last minute. Aaron St. Cyr crushing the 2. That piece of wood was in the perfect spot for him. Gotta like it when that happens, yeah. I really thought that was going to go for Chris, but just had too much of a curve to it. Aaron, half Worcester to the left. Chris Kaz taking out the entire right side. Hey, what's going on, man boy? Good to see you, buddy. One of my subscribers. Love seeing that every single time. No, you only get, there you go, 2 spares right there. You do get 3 throws every time. You only get 1 chance for a spare. So first ball is still a strike, second ball is still a spare. The third ball is just a 10. So if you get them all down, you just get total pinfall and nothing extra. Wow, that is a long time, Lee. Everything okay, I assume? I'm hoping. Kim, how are you? Another subscriber. Love to see it. Yeah, that is a long time. Was that 5 days? Sean Landry on the left just threw that one. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, nice spare from Nick Freshy, Zuffelato. Lisa with the hand hearts. Thank you. Lisa coming in with the gifts. Always love seeing that. Oh, Sean just missing. He's trying to clip that one and kind of kick it over, but it's put a little bit too much to the left there. Oh, Freshy off to the left. Sean Landry with a huge strike right there. In case I hadn't heard the new Walmart DC. Nope. Haven't heard anything about Walmart DC at all. Oh, I'm sure that is needed out there too. Everything I've been seeing up here just shows devastation, complete devastation down there. That hurricane was insane. Okay. They're switching sides up there right now. In case you've never seen this before, this is a very old bowling alley, and the ball returns are on the outside rather than the inside of the lanes. So rather than having it between 5 and 6, you have it on the outside of 5 and 6. John Lescarbeau. If I remember right, he's working on a spare. Wow. 15 inches of rain in a week is a lot. Oh, what a shot from John Lescarbeau. I can't even imagine 13 hours. Did you lose any livestock in that at all? Are they all nice and safe? John Lescarbeau off the head pin, but it's working. That was a working ball right there. Keith leaving the 1-9. There it is, John Lescarbeau. Who is this guy? Yeah, Dennis, this is called Candlepin bowling, and it is the best kind of bowling there is. Pretty much only found here in northern New England and Atlantic Canada. Very regional form of bowling. That is great to hear, Lee. You know, I knew you were down in that area, but I just never really put two and two together to ask you how everything was. 10 pin's a great game, Justin. I understand why people would say that. It's just not my jam, you know? So there are supposed to be foul lights, but this place does not have any. So if you bowl in other places that are more updated, you're going to have that. This is a very, very old house, and they want that vintage feel. So they did not upgrade to the foul lights. It is an honor-based foul light system. No, never on strings. Because you couldn't leave the strings on there, especially where we leave the wood on the deck that falls down. So if the strings were there, you would just wrap up around all the other stuff. Yeah, you'll never see Candlepin on strings. You'll never see a two-hander bowler. No, you'll have no Candlepin bowling at all. Yep, you get 3 chances. Your first ball is still a strike. Your second ball is still a spare, just like in 10-pin. Your third ball, and this is just total pin call, and that's it. So if you get them all down your third ball, just a 10 and no bonus pins from your next frame. What a shot from Al Kecyk. Alyssa, good to see you, Alyssa. That was an incredible, incredible spare right there for Al Kecyk Sr. Being able to kick that pin over, that was chef's kiss right there. Yeah, so this is a travel league. So the home alley is Riverwalk Lanes, which is the name of this place. And Metro Bowl out of Peabody, Mass. is traveling up here, and they're competing. There are 12 teams in this league, and then one has to travel every week, or six have to travel every week. Well, yeah, this is the pro league. This is the guys you expect to be bowling well. Does that mean they're always going to be, fantastic? No, and we're all human. But these guys on average are going to be really, really good. This is extremely difficult. This is the most difficult form of bowling that there is, with pro bowlers only averaging between a 115 and a 120. Kim Tornberg with the hand hearts. Thank you, thank you. Well, the good thing about not having patience in doing this is it is a very fast pace. You have 4 balls to throw. Like you have a set of 4 instead of just 1. And so you're constantly just grabbing the next ball and going. It's a very fast-paced game compared to 10-pin. Even though we throw more balls, it is a faster pace. If you ever watch the other 10-pin bowlers on TikTok, you'll know there's a lot of downtime when they're not doing anything. Oh, nice try from Lou. That is just almost never the case here. Every person that has their own set of balls, they're all going to be the same weight as each other, but all balls are not the same weight, no. They can range anywhere from 2 pounds 4 ounces to 2 pounds 7 ounces. So yeah, they're all going to be roughly the same, but there is a large difference between 2 7s and 2 4s. Yes. You want to just go down there and throw a ball hard? This is the game for you. This sport benefits a harder throw, so you get rewarded for that. No, this is Massachusetts. Amesbury, Massachusetts. Oh, Nancy, I'm sorry to hear that. Lee was just saying the same thing, that he got a ton of rain. He's from Tennessee also, so hope everyone's good for you guys. Everyone's healthy and everything. Oh, Riddick, I'm telling you. I was supposed to go live this past Tuesday, but I left a part of my tripod at home, so I appreciate that. Right. I was wondering what you meant by limes, but oh, Virginia? I swear you told me before Tennessee. I apologize for that. This is a very, very hard game, Kevin. Who has the all-time high single? That's actually tied for the high. 245 is the highest single ever. Chris Sargent is the most recent one to do it, and Ralph Sem was the first one to do it. Yeah. So 10-pin bowling has string pins, for sure. I prefer the pro rubber, but a lot of people will say the urethane also, but mine are rubber. What's up?
Nothing much. Came to watch the boys and sell some squares.
Makes sense. What do you prefer, a urethane ball or a rubber ball?
It depends on, am I rolling on synthetic? Am I rolling on planes? And when I work and I lose my little curve, I feel better with rubber balls.
Okay.
But like my normal everyday ball, I use a urethane ball.
Ever since I threw my first, like, the pro rubber, I'm like, I love these. I don't know
I
what
throw
it is.
a very bouncy ball already, so with the rubbers, it's people question whether or not I'm lobbing or something. But I hit right before the bottom and it bounces again.
Can you imagine Candlepin with strings? No, there is no way that could ever happen.
There's way too much wood play. We're getting too caught up and slow the ball down.
No, it would be miserable. You go down there and things are going to start spinning around. No,
That's
that
like
could never happen.
Pinocchio. I'm a real boy. No, you're not. You're made out of wood and string.
Alright. John Landry missing to the right a little bit. Wow, that was a perfectly placed ball. That's for exactly where I thought it should go, and didn't want to go for him. Sometimes the physics of this game just never make sense. That was the legendary Sonia. Yes, it was. She came down here. She's selling some squares for the women's world tournament stuff that's happening. So she got $10 off me. I figured since she was here, I would, include her. Who doesn't love Sonia? We were supposed to get her on Tuesday, but her son was sick, so she wasn't able to come down. All right. Keith Beaupre. 189 to 216, if I just heard right. Nice strike from Lescarbeau, with Riverwalk Lanes having the advantage. It's still 10 pin, just like in 10 pin. Same setup, same configuration and everything. Same spacing even. There's 12 inches between every single pin up there. It doesn't look like it. It looks nice and close, but it is. It is a lot of fun. Very difficult as far, but also, for me, it's the best kind of bowling. Ooh, John Lescarbeau missing heavy to the right. I feel bad about the no-show. I left the top of my tripod at home. My bag had fallen over, and I just didn't notice that the top part had fallen off, so there was no way for me to hold the camera up there. Oh, John missing. Yeah, I would say 92 is a very good average for a first year. Yep. Honestly, if you can average 100 in most leagues, you're going to be one of the best bowlers in your average casual league. Yeah, I love the fast pace. And what I like, you say the not strikes, but I like to see different ways for people can make spares. And really, it's more fun. Like, obviously, strikes are exciting, and everyone loves that, but seeing the crazy spares that some of these guys can make is just amazing. And that's what keeps bringing you back. It really does. It's not the same shots over and over and over again. I know 10-pin bowlers have to learn the oil patterns and all that stuff. We don't have any oil on the lanes, so you don't have to worry about oil patterns here. But learning how to make like this, the 157. Very difficult shot. I know a little bit, Ashton. Like, I don't know the entire history, but streaming now for a year and a half, I've gotten to learn quite a bit of it. Yes, this is one of the harder lanes out there. It's not the hardest, but it is on the lower end scoring-wise. Never been a perfect game this far. 245 is the most that's ever happened. And anytime anybody in the game throws a 200, like it is news that everybody talks about. Tonight they're going to bowl 3 games. I have never tried pickleball, but it's one of those things that I think I would enjoy because I love tennis. But I'm getting a little out of shape in my old age, so tennis is a little bit harder than it used to be. Synthetic lanes, I think, actually produce higher scores. That's generally what I've seen. The synthetic lanes are higher scores. Yeah, these are called candlepins. They look like candles, supposedly. Tall, skinny, white candles. JT, great first ball. Wow. Oh. Almost none. Believe it or not, your shoulder doesn't generally hurt this. This is definitely more of a knee injury. Like, your knees will bother you a lot more than your shoulder and your elbow. But really, because the ball weighs so little, it's not really that your shoulder's not really a thing that bothers you. Remember, these balls are only 2 pounds apiece, so it's not like you're throwing a 16-pound ball up there. Sure, you're throwing the ball, 30 to 40 miles an hour, but JT is having a rough start. I agree. You say that, and then he throws a good one. Mike Tilley, what's happening, buddy? Good to see you. I agree, Cole. I agree. I think this should be around more than it is. So at this place, Brown, yes, it is. It is still pencil and paper in this alley. There are very few that are still pencil and paper. Most have automatic scoring nowadays. If not, you know, like kind of an in-between where you score it yourself, but it's on a computer. But this place is old school, and that's how they want it. Oh my God, Mike, I am very sorry to hear that. Sorry for your loss. I am lucky enough to have all of my family members still around, so I can't imagine what it would be like to not have them around and just be able to answer the phone whenever I wanted to, so I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. Frigger, good to see you, buddy. Sleazy, this is called Candlepin bowling, and it is the best kind of bowling there is. Yes, Brady. They get 3 throws every time they're up there. First ball is still a strike, second ball is still a spare, third ball is total pinball. I am just commentating and hanging out with you guys, Mike. That is what I'm doing tonight. Not quite good enough to be bowling with these guys. I'm at that one level below still, where I'm good enough where I could sub if I had to and kind of help out, but as like a full-time bowler, I'm just a little bit below. Yep, this is called Candlepin bowling. You look up my name on there. You can see all sorts of different Candlepin bowling videos. Subscribe to me over there too, because I am so close to getting monetized over there, and I would really enjoy that. Yes, it is harder than 10-pin bowling. Yeah, these are pro bowlers.
Throw that. Throw that. Not tonight.
We're not saying that.
No.
Yeah, the average pro bowler only is between a 115 and a 120 average. Candlepin, P-I-N, just like, you know, those are pins up there. There's duck pin, candle pin, 10 pin. Yep. Yeah, so make sure you give me a follow. If you ever are on YouTube, check that out. Check me out. Every video that I record here, I post the full video up on TikTok on YouTube the next day. But to see it first, you got to come here on TikTok. It's so much better to watch it live also. My commentating is not the best commentating in the world, but me talking to you guys is top tier. Freshy all over the 10-pin. Wow. I don't even think he hit that. How did that happen? I want the replay on that. I wonder, Death to Zombies, how many people understand that? That spare did count. He must have hit something down there in order to do it, but... no oil on the lanes. No, there is a coating that gets put on like once a year-ish, but that's about all. Well, if so, I'm old. I'm that old too, so. Believe it or not, you still are Amon. Yep. So if I need you to block somebody. One of my favorite people in the world, Josh, right there. Wish I could see you a little bit more than Andy Mans, you know, once every month or so. Yeah, we did a draft last night that we needed one more person for, but I was like, no, he's going to be sleeping. It's a weird time. So they switch sides so often because they do 2 frames at a time and then switch to the other side. That way one team can't say one lane is better than the other. You know, like say lane 6 is a little bit of a faster lane. Oh, what a strike from John Lescarbeau. So they do 2 frames apiece for everybody, and then they swap sides and do it again. And by the end of the night, they've bowled, I think, the same amount on both lanes. If not, they get 1 extra one on one side. Keith. That pin wants to fall, but it's not going to. It wants to fall. No, a perfect game has never happened. 245 is the highest score that anyone's ever achieved, and it's happened twice, actually. The random number of 245 has happened twice. Oh, nice. Candlepins for Cancer is doing a great tournament right now at the Big 20. It's like they're doing like 5 or 6 events, doubles tournament. It's a lot of fun. So the Pro Bowlers are generally 115 plus. Semi-pro, there's not really a definition for that, but I'm a 105, so I'm like a tier below there. Alright, sounds good, Josh. Let's do that. So I need to increase my thing by 10% in order to bowl with these guys. Kathy, good to see you. It is not as hard as you can, but as fast as you can accurately, Danny. If you have a little bit of a hook, it's fine, but generally a hard straight ball works the best. They do get 3 tries, Howie. The third one, so the first and second are the exact same that you know in 10 pin. The third one is just total pinfall. There's no extra pins out of it. So if you get them all down your third shot, it's just 10, nothing else. That sounds like a great night, Howie. Yep, I try to go live every Friday if I can, Kathy. Yeah, I've been recording either Lafayette or Riverwalk are here every Friday, so close to my house, so it's nice to be able to come down here and record the Pro Bowlers. Mount Lawless, nice shot. Now Kecyk makes his too, much harder for Al, and just absolutely crushes it. Great ball. Fantastic ball right there. No, that was actually last weekend. Yeah, she's already come and gone at this point. Alright, he's not chopping anymore for you, Lee. Well, it's Candlepin, not Candlestick, but yeah, if you've never been up to northern New England, you might not have ever tried this. I mean, these are the... Oh, JT misses. Yeah, these are the Pro Bowlers, so of course they're going to be good. Ooh, the spare. It's Gacharna up on the left. Not duck pin, JB. No, these are Candlepins. Duck pins look more like 10 pins, but much smaller. These are taller, skinnier, and look more like candles. Good strike there, JT. Yes, so you actually get to use the wood to make your spares in your tents. Yeah, nothing in Indiana. I'm sorry, no Candlepin at all over there. That's what I love about it, Howie, is that every shot you take is a different shot. You know, like, and the way you become a pro and the way you're able to learn and get better, that's how you get better, is by doing all these different shots and kind of learning where to put the ball on the pin in order to make them go the way you want them to go. Chris Cass, all over the head pin. Aaron St. Cyr dropped that ball with a big bounce. They do bowl this in Canada, but it was invented here in Massachusetts. Yeah. Duckpin seems to be the go-to secondary bowling in a lot of places. But around here, this is the number one bowling. Number one Candlepin, number two 10-pin. There's nothing in California either, Howie. Nope. Outside of Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Maine, and Vermont, there is one in New York State and one in Ohio, and that is it, as far as I know, in the entire country of the United States. There's a bunch in Canada also. It is very similar rules to 10-pin bowling, but there's obviously some differences. We get 3 throws instead of 2. We leave the wood on the deck instead of clearing it every single time. And there's no oil on the lanes. And then obviously the ball size and pin sizes are much different. But it's pretty much the same as 10-pin bowling. Zach, match it. What's happening, buddy? Good to see you. Is that the one in Chelmsford? Is that where it is? Chelmsford, Drake-it, that area. Yeah, duckpin's a fun sport. I really enjoy duckpin every time I've done it. I still like 10-pin even better than duckpin, but Candlepin's the best. Yeah, North Chelmsford. Yep. Yeah, I've been there before. No, it's much smaller than the duckpin ball. So duckpin balls, I believe, are 5.5 inches wide, and these are 4.5 inches. I don't think so, King. I don't think there's ever been a 300 in duckpin. Hey, so close to that 400, Zach. Good job. That's fantastic. It is much harder than 10-pin. Absolutely, it is the hardest form of bowling that there is. Oh no, there is, yes. It's different lane etiquette than in 10-pin. So here the lane etiquette is you always let the bowler on your right go first. They bowl one ball, then you bowl one ball. They bowl one ball, then you bowl one ball. And that's just the way it is here. So you're aiming for the head pin, but you want to hit it off to the side. So you want to hit the 1-2 pocket or the 1-3 pocket, but hitting the head pin first. Scoring is almost the exact same as 10-pin. So if you get 12 strikes, it's still a 300, same as 10-pin. The scoring difference is on the third ball that we throw, where it's just a 10, and that's it. But everything else is the same as 10-pin, except for the third ball. Yeah, Sean Landry throws a very, very fast ball. Yep, it really doesn't matter as long because the pins dance around a lot. And that's really what you're going for, is to get them shooting off to the left and right and off the sidewalls. Power definitely helps. Accuracy is still the most number one thing, but you want to throw a good, hard, fast ball if you can. Yes, Funkle, this is New England. This is Amesbury, Massachusetts. My hometown and the greatest town there is. I agree, yeah. Softball, there's a lot of guys here who don't bowl during the summer because they play softball instead. So a lot of the really good bowlers will play softball during the summer. Are the lanes slick like oil on them? No. You can walk on these lanes all the way down there. Oh, of course I'm a Patriots fan. I'm from Massachusetts. How could I not be a Patriots fan? So the balls here can range from 2 pounds 4 ounces to 2 pounds 7 ounces. But most people who have their own sets are going to use either 2 6s or 2 7s. The lighter balls are generally reserved for the glow bowling balls and really ones for like kids. They're just made of a different material, so they're a lot lighter. Jason, God bless you too, buddy. God bless you, Jason. Good to see you as always. No, you don't windmill throw. No. The ball is very heavy. Like, I know 2 pounds 7 ounces doesn't sound like a lot, but you don't want the ball falling out of your hands. There's some money in tournaments. You're not going to be able to do this as your only source of income. This is definitely a hobby more than anything else. Dare Bear, I love questions, okay? It gets me talking about something else. It lets me always have something to be talking about, which I like. So there's a few different materials, but the most common are urethane and pro rubber. I use the pro rubber balls, but a lot of people prefer the urethane. It's all whatever you prefer, basically. Never been a perfect game. Nope. 245 is the most that's ever happened. So obviously you want to have a little bit of a spin on it, but it is mostly just you want to throw a hard straight ball. Pro rubber, yeah. Yeah, so if you look up, I use Cobras, and the Cobras use a pro rubber. So the reason you see them throwing very hard, even if there's a single pin, you get throwing the same ball. You don't want to mix that up. So if you normally throw a 30 mile an hour ball, we'll say, you're not going to want to slow that down to 10 to try to make a single pin. You're going to want to throw a little lighter. You might want to throw it like 25 miles an hour, but you don't want to slow it down too much. Yeah, Paramount makes a lot of good balls. The Epco ones. That's a very challenging style, yep. Well, you buy them in sets of 4, Keith. So you buy a set of 4 for anywhere from $200 to $400. Usually right around the $250 to $300. But I've seen people pay a little bit more. Oh, Scorpions, nice. Those are old ones. Does the material of the ball mostly affect the weight, or can it affect the roll too? It definitely affects the roll too. Especially like if you're using it on a synthetic surface or a wooden surface, they ball very differently. I don't. That's why I like my rubber ones. They're very consistent. The urethane just I don't think roll as well on the synthetic ones. What a shot from Blue. There you go. I don't know about the balls from the 80s. I assume they're made from the same stuff, but that was a long time ago. It was 40 years ago. So yes, they do throw strikes, but not as often as 10 pin. This is definitely more of a spare game or even a 10 game more than anything else. Yeah, we've definitely had a few strikes tonight. I think the average pro bowler throws 1 strike per match, or per game. I think that's what Paul Grant once told me. There's a strike there for you. How do you like that? There's a strike for you. Thank you guys for the follows. I appreciate that. Blue just missing the head pin on that one. John Lescarbeau with a 133. Matt Lawless with a 116. JT almost a double strike up there. There it is. Nine. No oil on the lanes, Haley. These are just straight wooden lanes. There is a protective coating they put on like once a year, but that's about all there is. Just to keep the wood protected. Aaron St. Cyr. A little off to the left. Through completed boxes, it was 441 to 419 coming into the final two. Aaron St. Cyr on the 3-pin. Sorry. Chris Kaz finding the hole right down the middle. Touch off the head pin. Not really, but not as full as he wanted it to be, I think. A little too full for Chris Kaz. Aaron kind of looking at it, trying to figure out where he wants to hit it on here. I assume he kind of wants to hit it almost right through the hole of those two pins. Whoa! Whoa! What a shot! And the matching one. I mean, these are white people. You are correct. Jacob, you're going to have to come up here to northern New England and give it a try. This is the best time of year to come up here. The fall in New England is fantastic. I don't recommend coming up here in the winter. Who wants to deal with all that snow? But this is a great time of year to come up here.
Nice finish up there, Kaz.
I agree with you, baby girl. But I got thick skin, so.
Loser.
Don't call me that. Do we go 10-pin bowling also? So generally it's just exclusively Candlepin. 10-pin really isn't that big around here. Candlepin is the #1 form of bowling when you're around here. I'll do it for fun once in a while. John Lescarbeau, I know, is in a 10-pin league at least. But he's the only one that I know that does. I hear that all the time. The rotator cuff, we almost have never an issue with. Knee problems a lot, elbow problems a lot. The pins are made of like a rubber or plastic type thing down there. I don't really know the difference between the two, so. So regular league bowlers, Haley, is what you're asking. I would say the common average is about 85 to 90. It depends who's throwing the ball. Sean Landry throwing the ball, you're probably getting up to 40 miles an hour. Yeah, no, it's okay. It was just one comment, and then they scrolled away, so I fully expect them to not hear from them again. Nobody's ever thrown a perfect game here. 245 is the most that's ever happened before. Two people have gotten a 245, believe it or not. It is scored very similarly to 10-pin. The only difference, like first ball is still a strike, second ball is still a spare. The third ball is the only difference between the two, and that is just total pinfall, and that's it. The highest average in the game is a 135 right now. Josh Daly throws about a 135, and I think he has the highest average in the entire game right now. Generally, you don't want a big curve, Mad Lover. I know in 10-pin that's what you want to do. That is not what you want to do generally around here. Generally, you want to throw a hard straight ball. Correct. No spare on the third shot. Just total pinfall, and that's it. Very, very tough game. A strike to start from John Lescarbeau. Let's go. You don't see a ton of strikes in this game, so well, it depends what you fill your spares with. Likes are way too low. I was gonna say something about that soon because we've been sitting at 4,000 now for about 40 minutes. Yeah, with 200 people here watching, I feel like we can do better than that. But there has been a lot of talking and a lot of typing back and forth, so you might not be able to like if you're typing. There it is. I see them all popping off now. You guys are awesome. No one has ever thrown a perfect game. Nope. 245 is the most that's ever happened before. I would love to record the first perfect game I've ever thrown. The guy on the left is Beaupre. One of the fastest throwers in the game, for sure. No perfect game ever thrown. The game has been around since the 1880s, and there has never been a perfect game thrown. That is how hard this game is. Like, anytime anyone throws a 200 in the entire game, like, we hear about it. Yep, that would be him. Like, yep. I don't know if you were there when I went down to Millis as a sub one time, and he was doing the same thing. So it is not a spare on your third ball, Sonny. It is just a total pinfall. So it's just a 10 if you get them all down your third throw. So a spare, if you get them all down your second ball, is a spare, and then you get one more ball from your next frame. Definitely the hardest horn bowling there is. You saw a foot foul. I will go back and watch it after. But generally, these guys aren't going to be foot fouling. A lot of the time, if you see that, it's just a camera angle. I have an account for you to follow if you want to see the pin setters. There's a girl called Autumn Mowry who recently bought a Candlepin bowling alley up in middle of nowhere, Maine. And she shows the back a lot. She's great for showing the background stuff. She owns the bowling alley, so she can show you all the cool, fun stuff that I can't. So today, it is pencil and paper fiction fables. At Riverwalk Lanes, it is pencil and paper still. They want the vintage feel, and that is what they're going with still. Most places have modernized it with automatic scoring, but this place wants that old school feel to it. Chris Curley, what is going on, buddy? Chris Curley bowls here most Sunday mornings. You mean like left and right-handed? I have never seen someone switch back and forth. My wife switched to a lefty after her wrist started really hurting, but she wasn't nearly as good as she was before. Oh, okay. No, I'm not a Canadian. No, I'm from Massachusetts. Born and raised right here, Amesbury, Massachusetts. Right down the street from Riverwalk Lanes. Oh, what a ball from JT. Lou. headband. Oh, they're still falling for him. 7-10 left up there. Well, just the 7 for JT. Piece of wood that he could use also. He decides not to, go straight after the pin. Let's see if Lou can use that piece of wood. He cannot. There he goes, hits that one. Game 1 did go to Riverwalk, 550 to 527. So 23 pin win. Great ball from Chris Kaz. Look how far out that pin came.
10.
Wow. I like Chris's a little bit better with that piece of wood there. But the way Aaron can throw it, he can still make this. Oh, just missed the cap. He's trying to get both of them. And the best way to do that would be to cap one of them, one end to the other. There it was right there. Kaz crushing the headband. By the way, guys, nice job. 4,000 likes in that period of time right there. You guys did a great job. Thank you so much. The more likes we get, the more people that come in, the more we get new viewers, and that always helps. So appreciate when you guys go through those massive likes. Yeah, it kind of does. Like, this is a very old lane. So this has been around since the 1930s. I know the one in Chelmsford is very old also. These are the Pro Bowlers. Again, Mugmouse. Yep. Oh boy. I remember you from last week. Yep. Yes, these are the Pro Bowlers. But it is good to see you back. Yeah, yep. So it's around from before there were automatic pin setters. In fact, my grandfather, when he was a child, worked here back when it was Lafayette lands. I have seen a lot of people throw a hook, and it is not beneficial. Generally, as a general rule, you want to throw a hard straight ball. So the reason it's called a pro league is it's a scratch league. So you want to get the best bowlers in the game on your team. Are these guys making money here? Generally not. This is still much more of a hobby than anything else. Yeah, it would be an employee. So generally you would hire children, and they would get a nickel per game. At least that's what my grandfather made. So he would sit between 5 and 6, and he would do both their lanes every single time. Before automatic pin setters, obviously. And then you would get tips too. So Joey, this is called Riverwalk Lanes in Amesbury, Massachusetts. It was so different, absolutely. I think that's the best part of it, Gary. What a shot! Incredible spare right there. Being able to cut that pin over right there, chef's kiss right there. That is what I'm talking about. Like that's the kind of shot you're not going to see made in a regular league. That's okay. I appreciate it. Even coming close to it, that like even after I just said that, you know, we're up another 5,000 likes. You guys are awesome. I super appreciate every single time. Thank you, Goated. Thank you, thank you. Nice. I love Southern New Hampshire. I go up there all the time. That was not a routine spare at all. Who's the best Candlepin? Candlepin, not candlestick. It is Candlepin. And I think you have to go to Craig Holbrook as the best, the greatest of all time. Was bowling back in the 80s, still going strong now. Still a part of the Pro League. In 10 pin, that is true, Daniel. In 10 pin, that's true because the ball weighs so much. That's where you're getting the kinetic energy from. Here, the ball weighs so little. You have to put speed on the ball to get that energy into the pins. And you're just not going to get that if you throw a slower ball. Of course, I've heard of duck pin bowling. We have, according to someone earlier today, 2 duck pin bowling alleys in Massachusetts. And I've been to one of them. Hey, duck pin's kind of like a hybrid between Candlepin and 10 pin. Great strike from John Lescarbeau. There it is. Eee, just missing. That is a very impressive score, and that's for duck pin, obviously. I can't even imagine a 655 in Candlepin. Mark Ritchie, who bowls here and actually owns Riverwalk Lanes, holds the triple in Candlepin record. Pin's still falling for Al. Uh-oh, puzzle piece time. Nailed it. I love when I'm here for the puzzle piece. I didn't walk away. Generally not, no. There's not a lot of 10-pin leagues around here, Ryan. Like, Candlepin is the #1 form of bowling in this area. So 10-pin is really like a secondary sport. Matt Lawless crushing the head pin, going straight through, just hitting the 1-5. Running down the 4 horsemen. Whoops. All right, what's the rule on this one? So if you guys see, there is a pin that fell down from above.
If it was a bill, the bill stays.
Crazy when that happens. Woo-hoo-hoo. We knew that was going to happen there. So every once in a while, it won't hold on to the thing. No, he actually has to redo the entire frame. We haven't seen 22 seconds in forever, Lee. We haven't seen John in forever. It's almost time for me to get some new mods, you know? That was a long time ago, Mug Mouse. Long time ago. Now it's a much better first ball than the one he had before. We don't see that too often, though. It would be very hard to stack two on top of each other. That is just mean, Roberta. That is just mean. No, you do not. Absolutely. If it's going to happen, that's the time when you want it to happen. You want to know why there's only 2 lanes? I mean, we're on 2. You know, like there's somebody else over on lane 1 also, like just open bowlers, so we're just here bowling. But this is a travel league, so there's only one team traveling to here, and there's a home team. But there's a small house. There's only 8 lanes total here. Gacharna just sitting off the headpin just a touch. JT also off the headpin. Both leaving mirror images. Not here, Ryan. The other place I bowl a lot is Academy Lanes. They have automatic scoring there. But this place in particular still uses pencil and paper the old school way. Where you got to do math in your head, even though they do have a calculator there just in case. But yeah, these are still the old bowling lanes, like they've still been here. I think since the 30s. I think it's the original lanes, but yeah, well, they're 90 years old, Alex. You know, like they have seen a lot of bowling balls thrown on them. Exeter Lanes has those with the overhead projector. Bonjour. I do not know nearly as much French as my little brother does. My little brother is fluent in French, and he's much better at it than I am. So it's allowed to hit the lane and bounce past the line, but it has to at least make contact with the lane prior to the line. So you'll see with Chris a lot is he throws it very hard and it bounces. Where is Candlepin played? It's almost exclusively found in northern New England. So you're talking Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Maine, and Vermont, and Atlantic Canada. So the east coast of Canada also. Oh, nice try from Chris Kaz. Outside of New England and Canada, you're only going to find 2 other lanes in the United States at least. There's one in New York State, and there's one in Ohio. But other than that, that's it. I think there's one in Germany, I was told too, but even that I've never actually had proof that it's there. It's actually been around longer than 10-pin mug mouse. 10-pin first started in the 1890s. Prior to that, it was 9-pin, and then a couple laws were made to illegalize 9-pin, so it became 10-pin. But we've been around since the 1880s. So I've never played in Nova Scotia. I've never played in Canada at all. What are the rules? So it's mostly the same as 10-pin. There are a few differences, of course, obviously ball size, pin size. There's no oil on the lanes. We get 3 throws instead of 2. and we get to leave the wood on the deck and make our spares and our tens out of it. Almost the same scoring as 10-pin bowling, with the exception of the third throw, so first ball is still a strike. If you get 12 of them, it's still 300. Spares are the exact same. Third ball is just total pinfall, and that's it. No bonus balls, no nothing like that. Why was 9-pin maybe illegal? That's a really fun story, and it's mostly because there was a lot of gambling and drinking going on when people were bowling. So they tried to make 9-pin bowling illegal, and the people at the time just added another pin because they made 9-pin bowling illegal instead of all bowling illegal. It is a great story, by the way. So where is this bowling alley? So this is Riverwalk Lanes in Amesbury, Massachusetts. A 300 is impossible and very improbable. It has never happened in the 140 years that the sport has been around. 245 is the most that has ever happened. You know what? You're going to have to come up to northern New England. You know, right now is a great time of year to do it. Springtime, another great time. Don't come up here in the winter. You don't want to deal with the snow. But it's a great time to come up here, give it a try. Do other things too, like go do the foliage peeping and all that good stuff. But yeah, it's a great time to come up here. There's another strike for Lescarbeau. He is on it tonight right now. John Lescarbeau, 68 through 5 so far. So you have one in Ohio, yes, but it is at a private club, and so if you want to use it, you have to rent out the entire place. So yes, it's there, but it is not easy to get to. Oh, very nice. Yeah, Concord's a great little city. Everything's closed on Sunday, though, which I did not like. We wanted to go out to eat one time when we were up there, and I swear every restaurant on a Sunday night was closed. There it is! Triple strike, let's go. Easy game. I don't know how that one fell down there. We are in Massachusetts right now, Honest Abe. So, yes. Triple strike so far. Huge. This is Riverwalk Lanes in Amesbury, Massachusetts. It is in Cincinnati. It's called the Wyoming Civic Center, if you ever want to check it out. So, it is not a spare on your third throw. Your third throw is just total pinfall, and that's it. Yes, fall leagues have definitely started. They usually start the week after Labor Day. That's not too far. Yeah, most fall leagues always start around the same time. Generally, a regular Candlepin league will run you $20 to $30 a week. If you want to bowl here at Riverwalk Lanes, it is $4.50 a string. Yeah, spares only on the second ball. Great ball from Lawless. They don't charge by the hour, no. No, here it is just based on how many strings you bowl. Yeah, the place I normally bowl is all mixed leagues. Even my Tuesday league that I'm a part of, it's mostly guys because it's a highly competitive league, but there's definitely plenty of women that bowl in it. Yes, So in order to get the pins to move around, we don't have a 16-pound ball. Our balls are only 2 pounds, 7 ounces at the most. So to get that energy, we have to add speed on it instead of the weight of the ball. No oil on the lanes, Trent. Nope. All Candlepin bowlers will throw it harder than you do in 10-pin. You need to throw a faster ball. They do. This place in particular, Josh, wants that vintage feel, so they're staying with it like this. Most Candlepin bowling houses have automatic scoring, big screens, lights, you know, the normal stuff that you see in a normal bowling alley. But this place in particular wants the vintage feel. That's what they're going for. This isn't really a strike game, Lava Sauce. This is a spare game or a 10 game. But generally you still want to throw it hard and fast in the pocket, either the 1-2 or the 1-3. There are no screens at all in this whole bowling alley. I think the Touch Tunes has a screen on it, but that's about it. It is not Canadian bowling. It was invented here in Massachusetts. But they do this in Candlepin. No two-handed bowlers. So the reason you do two-handed in 10-pin is to get more revolutions on the ball. And we don't care at all about revolutions here. We want to get it as fast as we can throw it accurately. 3 throws per frame. Scoring is pretty much the exact same as 10-pin with the exception of that third ball. So if you throw 12 strikes, it's still a 300. Perfect game. Same as in 10-pin. Spares, you get 1 bonus ball out of your next frame, same as in 10-pin. The third throw is the only difference between the two scoring-wise. And if you get them all down your third ball, it is just a 10. Nothing extra. There's a lot of wear and tear on the lanes, that is true. These lanes are also 90 years old. So if you think about it like that, they have had 90 years worth of throws on these. It's not that the oil, there's a protective coating put on it, but after 90 years, a lot of stuff gets damaged. Scott, whatever you're asking, it's not showing up. So if you're asking about like the weight of the balls, you can't use that word. So whatever you're asking, just misspell it if there's something in there that TikTok might be blocking automatically. It's like duckpin bowling, sure. They cannot be clear. No, you have to deal with them as is, unless they are out too far. There is a line down there where the pins can't be passed, and if it's too far out, you have to go clear that one. Yeah, I would never ignore people unless it's just going too fast. Yeah, like balls, you could type it like that. Yes, it was from a 16-pound ball hitting it. How heavy are they? They can weigh anywhere from 2 pounds 4 ounces to 2 pounds 7 ounces. With most people who own their own using 2 6s or 2 7s. The 2 4s are mostly for like the glow bowling balls and the stuff that's made of a different thing. I just missed a bunch of questions. No one's ever thrown a 300. Never happened. Yo, the splits happen so often. You definitely need bowling shoes. You see, we actually slide a lot more than 10-pin bowlers, so you need the shoes. Yes, very much a steeper curve. Even though you would think you throw a hard straight ball and it works, it is so much harder than that, especially learning how to make those the spares. Thank you, Ryan. I really appreciate it. One is the most amount of strikes in a row on average. You throw 1 strike in a game normally on average, if that, if you're a pro bowler. The scoring is almost the exact same as 10-pin. Oh, there's a nice shot. There's a nice shot. It is a spare or even a 10 sport. most expensive ball that I've thrown?
It's your money shot.
I don't know. Mine that have my engravings on them. Probably the most expensive, but they're still only like $60 a piece, $70 a piece. No oil on the lanes. Nope. It's just straight wooden lanes. I can do that one for you. I can make the slow-mo, but I can't do it right now, obviously. When I go to edit all these things, I'll do that. Yeah. It is a lot of luck involved in a strike. I fully agree with you, quantum effect, but you've got to put it in the right spot. You've got to hit it just right. But you also kind of have to get a little lucky. You can throw a perfect ball, and most of the time it won't fall for a strike. Yes. Yep, new wood lanes definitely roll different than the older ones, just because they don't have the wear and tear on them. How did I get the nickname the Magic Man? So this other guy who does a lot of commentating, name is Paul Grant. He does a great job. I love the guy. He is so good. But he found out that I play Magic the Gathering, and I had a Magic the Gathering podcast, and it just kind of went one and out the other. So he has no idea what Magic the Gathering is, so he just called me the Magic Man, and it stuck. Yeah, I've been playing since Revised came out, and I play all the time. I absolutely love Magic. It is my #1 favorite game of all time. This is the Pro League. Yes, it is. Yep. So they change lanes every 2 frames. So right now, that's what they're doing. Because our ball returns are on the outside, they have to actually move their balls back and forth right now. Pro League averages are anything 115 or more. Generally, you're going to see some a little bit below that in the 110 range, and some a little above that up to 135. But generally, you're going to want to see the 115 to 120s. Yeah, it's right around my high too, TJ. A good score is 100. If you can bowl 100, if you can average 100, you're going to be one of the best bowlers in your league, for the most part. Generally use the towels for sweat and just kind of make sure there's no grease on the ball at all from the machine. Hold on. 4 in a row. Oh, so close. Hit the headband, but no. You can hook the ball, but it's not generally the best way to do it. Generally, a hard straight ball is the best way to do it. Yes, that is correct. I've seen people with a big, big hook, but it is never a good thing. No one has ever thrown a 300 in Candlepin bowling. I've never seen anyone use stickum. I would assume it's not allowed, but I've never seen anyone try. Mostly because I wouldn't want it to get on the lane, you know? What is what, Justin? What is this game? This is called Candlepin bowling, and it is the best kind of bowling there is. Keith Beaupre, beautiful ball. Zero reason for that not to have been a strike. Again, I've never seen anyone use anything except a towel or water to wet or dry their hands. What is the ball speed? Okay. It depends on the bowler. Generally, though, you're going to see men throw it between 30 and 35 miles an hour. It really does not extend outside of New England, except for Canada. So if you go farther north up into Atlantic Canada, what a shot from Keith. You'll see it a lot there, but no farther south. Thank you, Travis. I agree, this is fire. Being able to cut that pin over to hit that, it was an incredible shot. See, it's like a seesaw, Kecyk Tokens. I know what you're saying, but then once you go a little too far, you go over the edge, and then you get significantly worse. At least that's what happened to me. I love Candlepin bowling too. That's why I do this. I like watching PBA. It's just a slower paced game than it is Candlepin. I suppose I never thought of it like that. Tokens. Yes, people have thrown balls at other people. Yes, they have. Yeah, they're about the same size as a cannonball. If you've ever played bocce, it is almost the exact same size as a bocce ball. It's the same concept. Like, they don't leave the wood on the lanes in duckpin like we do, but you do get 3 throws. It's another variation of 10 pin. Perfect game has never happened, Eric. Never, ever, ever. Strikes are very rare, honestly. According to Paul Grant, most pro bowlers only throw about 1 per game. Yeah, that sounds about right, especially if you are a 10-pin bowler and you're used to throwing with a hook and you're trying to. You're going to throw about a 60. That's normal. Yeah, you almost have to get lucky some of the times. You'll get a lot less score if you don't throw it with a good speed. You don't have to throw it as hard as you can, but it helps. It gets that pin action going. So, perfect game is still 300, Gary, but because it's never happened, we have a different perfect game that we call. So if you can, in 10 pin is a clean game, where you get all marks or you don't leave a pin standing. That's what we call a perfect game because it's just never happened. 300 has never happened. One time in my entire life, Sharky, I saw Steve Walker throw like a 204, and it's the only time I've ever seen a 200. Oh no, they'll still fall, but they won't get the pin action. They won't be bouncing off the side walls and coming back in, or off the back, I forget what it's called. There's like a screen in the back. They won't be bouncing off that and coming back, which you really want to get. The pins will still fall though, yeah. This is the Pro League artistry. Highest score that's ever happened is a 245. It's happened twice. I can in a second after they're done. Well, that's as much as I can zoom in on them right now. There they are. Nice and up close. That's what the pins look like. Try to fix that now. Average to bowl in this, you want to have it about a 115 to a 120 average if you can. Well, this is normal bowling around here, Jeremy, believe it or not. Is there a spare point difference? So, a spare is only on the second ball. If you get them all down your third ball, it's just a 10. No bonus pins. There is, but it is still mostly just a hobby more than anything else. You're not going to make enough money to not do a regular job. Materials are urethane pro rubber for the most part. What is this? This is Candlepin bowling, and it is the best kind of bowling there is. Highest score I've ever seen is the 204 that I was just talking about. Steve Walker threw a 204 one time, and that was the only 200 I've ever seen. You're not going to see this in New Mexico at all. It is pretty much only found in northern New England. The ball weighs Between 2 pounds 4 ounces and 2 pounds 7 ounces. Nice try. Yep, I'm right below the pro level bowling. That's why I call myself a semi-pro. Like, just right around that, just not quite good enough to stay. Bam, bam, what's happening? Scoring is almost the exact same as 10-pin, with the only difference being our third ball, which is just total pinfall, nothing else. 22,000 likes. When did that happen? You guys are great. Not in a long time. It's gone down a ways a couple times, especially after a few lemonades that might have happened. The most southern that there is probably in New York State. There's one in New York State, and that's it. I appreciate it, Ryan. I do. That's why we're getting these, why we're getting good numbers. Not as many as I used to get, but still pretty good. You do not have any in Colorado, Mug Mouse. There's no Candlepin lanes out there. What's the question, Motor City? What can I help you with understanding on this game? This is the United States. So this is Riverwalk lanes in Amesbury, Massachusetts. So no oil on the lanes. Nope, straight wooden lanes. There are 10 pins in the same configuration as 10-pin bowling. It is possible, but it's just, this is not a strike game. This is a spare game or a 10 game even. I have never done it, but other people have, and they generally throw it between 30 and 35 miles an hour. That was a gutter ball right there. With some guys throwing it 40 to 50 miles an hour. Sean Landry, Keith Beaupre, both are one of the top throwers for speeds. I've heard of that, Devin, but that is not the same thing. That's like called mini bowling or something, right? Everything is similar to 10-pin bowling, not regular bowling, 10-pin bowling. With the exception, obviously, the third throw, no oil, and we leave the wood on the lane. Yeah, you would have seen it in Massachusetts. I'm sorry to hear that you didn't like it, Alabama. Roll Tide. Yes, you get better pin action with a faster roll. So instead of having the heavy ball being able to bring the energy, you need the speed in order to get the pin action. So duckpin is slightly easier than candlepin because the ball's a little bit bigger, but duckpin's also another hard sport. So, but candlepin, a smaller ball, smaller pins, thinner pins. So it's a little bit harder to score. Generally, you don't want a curve. A curve is really good in 10-pin, but here, a curve just takes away from the speed of your ball, and you really want to do that. That's awesome to hear, Brittany. I think Candlepin bowling is definitely getting a resurgence recently, which I like to hear. I'd like to think I'm a little bit of a part of that, but I don't know if that's true or not. They can be set on either side. They're both the exact same. Yeah, there is a mini bowling with 30-foot lanes. That is not the same as this, though. I'd like to think I'm a pretty decent ambassador of the game. 147 for John Lescarbeau. Great time. 147, 133. Currently sitting at a 280. It is a lot heavier than a baseball, so you think you would, but like a baseball definitely is heavier than this. So, I mean, you could.
All or nothing.
Yeah. That's okay. Keep getting the all.
Hey, yeah, if I keep getting that many alls, I don't care.
Absolutely. So here it is still pencil and paper scoring. A lot of places are updated, but they're trying to go with the vintage feel here. It is Candlepin, not Candlestick, Dustin. But the lanes are the exact same length as a 10-pin lane. Yep, 60 feet long. 3 rolls per frame, 10 frames. That is correct. Are there any locations for Candlepin in my area? I assume that's what CP stands for. Yeah, I mean, like, just in Amesbury, there is Riverwalk and Game Time lanes. So, on your first time, Phil, you're not going to do that good. You're probably only going to get like an 80, would be my guess. If you were to stick with it, generally, like as a general rule, I always say cut it in half. So you'd be like a 105 bowler, would be my guess. Definitely better to throw. Nice strike right there. It's better to throw a straight ball. Generally. Like, some people have a little bit of a hook, but there's no oil on the lanes. You don't really care about the revolutions on your ball. So generally a hard straight ball works best. Right? Every once in a while, Stevie. Every once in a while you get to see one. Wow. Half Worcester, a quarter Worcester, and a lemon drop all in one there. Whew. That was a tough frame right there for Matt Lawless. Yeah, and with no oil, you could get too good of a hook. And honestly, Devin, one thing you got to think about too is there is 12 inches of space in between each of those pins, and the ball's only 4 inches wide. So it could, if your hook was too good, go between all the pins. Another reason why you don't want to have a big hook. 300 is still a perfect game, but it has never happened. Oh yeah. Very, like, a Candlepin strike is one of the best feelings in the world, let me tell you. It's like getting a home run in baseball. It feels great. Scoring is the exact same as 10-pin, with the exception of the third ball. So first ball is still a strike, second ball is still a spare. Hey, there's a strike for JT. Third ball is the only difference, and it is just total pinfall. Yep, down pins are stay there. Oh, what a match for Lou. Then you can use them to help make your spares and your tens. Not all the time, though, are they good. Sometimes they're kind of a roadblock. So yes, Richie, there is a lob line after Lou throws his ball. I'll show you right there. That's 10 feet down. That is, your ball has to make contact with the lane prior to that. Devin, how can we help expand this? I have the perfect answer for that, but you're not going to like it. We need new automatic pin setters. We need somebody to come up with a new one and then start implementing them around the country. There has not been a new pin setter made since the 70s. So all of these automatic pin setters are over 50 years old at this point. So you want to expand this game, that's what you need to do. We need to get new pin setters. The pins weigh 2 pounds, 8 ounces, 2.5 pounds. This has been around since the 1880s, believe it or not. Been around longer than 10-pin bowling, but it's a very regional sport. So if you've never seen it, it's because you've never been here in northern New England. I've done 10-pin bowling, but it's just not as much fun. There's been different companies back in the day who made them. I don't know enough about the pin setters to be able to tell you more about that. Travis, I'm sorry. No, my tripod was all messed up, so I wasn't able to go live on Tuesday. Yeah, pin setters are older than me, also. Yes, it is a much simpler machine than a 10-pin machine because you don't need to clear the lane every single time. So basically, there's just a sweep and something to drop the pins down, and that's it. You don't have to pick the pins back up. Yep, you will never see a stringed pin here in Candlepin. No, it was me. I got all the way to the bowling alley, and I realized the top part of my tripod had fallen out of my bag at home, and it was sitting on the kitchen floor, and I couldn't hold my camera up anyway to be able to go live. There is a place with Candlepin in Ohio, but it's in Cincinnati. Generally, you don't want to do that. You don't want to bounce it. But as long as it makes contact prior to the lob line, it's okay. I love to hear it, Devin. Make sure you give me a follow then. You might have already and I just didn't notice, but I go live multiple times a week because I love Candlepin bowling and it's my second favorite game of all time. Yeah, nothing in Nebraska, I'm sorry. Yep, the down pins you get to use. Most of the time it's a help, but not always. Wait till you see the guy up on the right now. He has a cannon. Difference between this and duck pin. The ball size is smaller here. The pins are a little taller but skinnier. And we get to leave the wood on the lanes to make our spares and our tens. Well, if you want to go to Cincinnati, Devin, there is one house there. But the problem with that place is you have to rent out the entire place if you want to use it. It is like a private club. What's going on in Florida, Frank? Did you make it through the hurricane okay? Average weight of a ball, 2 pounds 4 ounces to 2 pounds 7 ounces. With the 2 4s and 2 5s really just for the glow bowling balls and the really lighter different material. Yeah, plenty of duck pin places around the country, but Candlepin, few and far between. It takes a lot of time to get your ball to go accurately where you want it to. Dell, this is called Candlepin bowling, and it is the best kind of bowling there is. Maximum weight for a ball is 2 pounds 7 ounces. One of the rules is it can't be heavier than the pins, and the pins weigh 2 pounds 8 ounces. So your ball can't be any heavier than that. No wood core pins. It is just a solid rubber plastic pin. I don't know what it is. Candlepin is better because A, you get 3 throws, so you get more for your dollar. And you're not always throwing the same shots over and over again. And in 10 pin, you're basically just trying to learn to throw a strike. Here, you're learning how to make your spares, to cut the wood over, to use the fallen pins to make your spares and your tens. And it's always different. You're always striving to get better. Yes, definitely plenty in Brewer, Maine. Yep, Bangor Brewer. I was just up there in March. It is called Candlepin Bowling Club, and it is the best kind of bowling there is. I understand. I'm not saying 10-pin isn't just that. I'm oversimplifying it. I understand that. But also, when you're really learning how to play, it is learn how to hit the pocket. This is a lot of different spares set up. We are an Amesbury brand. Yes. Riverwalk Lanes, Amesbury, Massachusetts. Yeah, I definitely heard it. It was on The Simpsons. When The Simpsons came to Massachusetts, Homer played Candlepin bowling and absolutely loved it. That's one of the funniest things when Homer learns how to play Candlepin. Oh, nice shot from Keith. Even just the head pin. Masonic, the reason it isn't more popular on the West Coast and Midwest is it just never expanded out. I think a lot of it was back in the 70s, 80s when it was getting really, really popular. Honestly, the gatekeeping, I think, is what it was. People didn't want Candlepin in the rest of the country. They wanted to keep it their thing, a uniquely New England thing, and they just didn't expand it. No, it is only found here in northern New England. See, I enjoy 10-pin. I do. It's just not nearly as much as Candlepin. 10-pin's a very fun game. It's just not the same. That's called a half Worcester right there from Keith. When you just take out the 3-9 or the 2-8. Nice try, leaving just the 5-pin. Ooh. Just the 4-pin left standing for John. All right. I need to take a break for a couple minutes. I will be right back. I'm back, everybody. Of course I did, Abby. Of course I did. Soap and hot water every single time. I am no heathen, okay? Gacharna up on the right, JT Lyonnais on the left. Lou! Great first ball. They're still falling for him, too. Regular bowling shoes, yep. There's no difference between a Candlepin bowling shoe and a 10-pin bowling shoe. Oh, Candlepin is not easy. I wish it were. Wood was definitely a help there. So this is Riverwalk Lanes in Amesbury, Massachusetts. Black Bears. It is the hardest form of bowling that there is. Like I said, these are the pro bowlers, and they're only averaging still like a 115, you know? Zero oil on the lanes. Masonic. You can run right down there if you have to. Said before we put bacon grease on there every Monday, but I don't know. Like, I've never bowled there, but Riverwalk is known as one of the harder houses out there. Max score is still 300. If you throw 12 strikes, it is still 300. It has just never happened. Yes, every 2 frames they alternate. So you'll see all the different guys get together and like move their balls from one lane to the other. Never ever. 140 years this game has been around. No one has ever thrown a 300 before. Highest score I've ever seen was a 204 from Steve Walker. The only 200 I've ever seen. Oh, boo. My personal high is a 162. Did it a couple of years ago. I'd really like to beat it sometime soon. It has been way too long since I beat my personal high. Outside of northern New England, Brett, there are no Candlepin lanes. There's 2. There's one in Ohio and there's one in New York State, but that's it in the entire country. Nice shot from Aaron St. Cyr. These are called Candlepins, and they're supposed to look like candles. Crazy dude. Nice spare from Chris Cass. It's basically just a New England thing. New England and Atlantic Canada. Aaron with the half Worcester. I fully agree, Abby. I wish it were all around the entire country. I'm doing what I can. But we're gonna need somebody with a little bit of money to start investing in this, and that is not me. So it is in Albany, New York. It's called Apex Gaming. If you ever want to try it. So the original bowling was 9-pin back a long time ago. That evolved into 10-pin, and this is just an offshoot of 9-pin called Candlepin. There were a few places in Florida that had Candlepin bowling a long time ago, but I think the last one closed in like 2000 or something like that. There can be it's like Othello, you know, a minute to learn, a lifetime to master. So you learn how to do it pretty much quickly, but in order to get better and better, like you're never going to stop learning. These lanes are from the 1930s. There's no telling exactly when the place opened, but 1930s somewhere. So they're 90 plus years old. That is darkened from wear and tear over the course of 90 years. No two-handed bowlers. Nope. You cannot bowl two-handed. You have to throw it with one hand. Yep, so this is Riverwalk Lanes in Amesbury, Massachusetts. Yes, yep. Every Tuesday night, I record my own bowling league. Also, any other things I do. Like this Sunday, I'll be bowling in my regular league on a Sunday, and I'm doing a doubles tournament that I will be recording also. But obviously then I'll have the microphone while I'm up on the lanes. No oil, that is correct. Yeah, you don't want to curve the ball. Myself. You want to throw a hard straight ball. You can definitely spin it, but again, there's no oil on the lane, so you're really not going to want to. You want to throw a hard straight ball if you can. Yeah, definitely. Played at Lido Lanes many times. Great house. That is an illegal move, yes. You do have to throw the ball underhand, and if you see right, let's see if I can get my finger, that's the lob line right there, so your ball has to make contact with the lane prior to that. Or else it's the same as if you throw a gutter ball. No, pins are not wood. No, they are made of a rubber or plastic or something like that.
How's everybody doing?
A lot lot of new people tonight.
Yeah,
So I've been going over the same 4 things over and over again, but that's okay.
that's okay.
It's always
That
somebody's
just-
first time.
That just means that we're getting the word out there to more people.
That is
which
true.
Is a good thing.
Everyone wants to know why this isn't in the rest of the country. And I'm like, I don't know.
I wish I knew. It's just because it's like a New England pastime.
Gatekeepers from back in the day.
Yeah, more or less a maritime pastime.
Yep.
Because they have it up in Canada and there's one place.
That's closed.
It is
It's been
closed.
closed for a while. Yep. There's one in Ohio, one
I
in
know
New York
there's one
State.
in Ohio and there's one in like Albany, right?
Yep, Albany,
Yeah.
New York. Yep. Yes, this is New England. This is Riverwalk Lanes, Amesbury, Massachusetts. I hope you mean whack in a good way, Miles. Because I don't know how else you would mean that, because this is the best style of bowling that there is. That is Sonia, if you couldn't tell. They knew before. They're like, oh, that's Sonia. I'm like, yep.
That's Sonia and her lemonade, isn't it?
Hey, we got your mom bowling with us on Sundays. She's gonna be on my team. At Academy.
Really?
Yep.
So my mom asked me to sub for her.
Last week.
Yeah. And then so she not next week, but the week after, she's gonna be working. And she's like, can you sub for me? And I was like, I can do it next time. Last time she asked me that Sunday morning. I'm like,
Yeah. She forgot it was somebody's 50th birthday
Yeah.
or something. Yep.
I was like, I can't because I have work at 1 a.m. next time. And then
So-
she told me, she's like, yeah, I go with Tony and stuff. I'm like, I would have just sacrificed the sleep.
Yeah, she, so I needed 3 bowlers. I had 3 bowlers drop from my team. All new bowlers who had never bowled before, and they
Yeah.
realized they didn't like it. They're like, that guy stayed. My 27 bowler stayed. He told me he was a great bowler back in the day, and his first game was a 27.
It's all right. It takes a little warming up.
It does, it does.
Yeah, it's a little rusty.
So
at
he's
first,
getting
but you
he's
get
getting
used to
there,
it, yeah.
but he's grown over the
Yeah,
years, so it
just
happens.
takes some time.
So, yeah, he came back, but the other 3 bowlers were like, yeah, we're out.
Really?
I mean,
Yeah.
I bowled the whole time. I bowled until I was like 8.5 months pregnant. After I had my son, it took me like a year to adjust.
10 frames. What's the fastest ball I've ever seen? Probably close to 50 miles an hour. Would be,
Fastest one
Yeah,
I've
true.
seen is 46.
yeah, upper 40s.
Fastest one I've seen is 46. But it's only the fastest one that I've seen clocked. And it was Chris at
Yeah,
Academy.
he throws a fastball.
Yeah, Chris throws a fast ball.
Yeah.
He gets a lot of splash action, which is nice.
Yep, there's 10 pins. The balls weigh 2 pounds 4 ounces, 2 pounds 7 ounces.
Most of the people you see tonight are throwing 2 pounds 7 ounces.
Yeah. Generally, if you have your own, you're going to use 2 6s or 2 7s. The 2-4 is basically the glow bowling balls because they're made of a different material. You could get lucky, Phil. You know, that's the great thing about this game is
You can throw the same ball 3 times and get something different every time. It's so much fun.
Yep. People saw John throw a triple strike. They're like, oh, this game looks easy. Oh, God.
Yeah, no, it's funny. Some people make it look easy, and then you watch the next time they get up, and it's like, is this the same person? And it's just the way that the lanes go.
Why are the lanes black? That is from 90 years of use. This house is from the 1930s, and over the course of 90 years, you get some wear and tear on it. You cannot switch between the two. No, the machines in the back are 2 completely different machines. Now, if you made a new machine that could, then maybe you could try it, but just the machine's completely different. All right, that sounds good, Jelly Bean. It is 10 frames, and a good game is 100. That's like the benchmark. If you, but obviously these guys average like a 115-ish. So they're going to be getting 100 every time. If they get below 100, they had a bad game. Much harder than 10-pin bowling, Dominic. Like I said, these are the pro bowlers, and they're only averaging about a 115. So never a string on a Candlepin. Can you imagine if you left the pins? Oh, nice spare from JT. If the strings were still down there as the pins were down, like they're gonna get all connected and messed up. No, because we leave the pins on the lane, you can't use strings. CJ, what's happening, buddy? I actually had a question for you soon, CJ, but I might need a bowler for Sunday night, so I was gonna ask you if you wanted to come bowl. But I gotta find out if my wife is going to first. I asked her, and she said maybe, maybe not. But if not, I was gonna see if you wanted to come down to bowl. Very often. Like almost, I don't want to say every shot, but most shots, there's going to be some left up. How many lanes are there here? Riverwalk Lane has 8 lanes. Very small. We don't normally. Normally we, she has her own bowling night and I have my own. But I had another person drop, so I needed somebody else to take over the spot, and I asked her if she wanted to come bowl with me. Strikes do not happen very often. According to Paul Grant, Candlepin Bowling Network, pro bowlers throw about 1 strike per game.
Where's he come up with that stat?
I have no idea. No idea. I just go with it.
Let's go with it.
Yep.
I hear those stats sometimes. I'm like, how? Should I go back and want to hit real straight?
I can imagine not. No, I have no idea where he comes up with those numbers.
Hit like 2 every game out of 20.
Commenting from Ohio. No, what did you? There is one in Ohio, believe it or not, in Cincinnati. But it's a private club, so you're going to have to rent out the entire place if you want to do it. What did you do on Saturday, CJ? What happened? Here at Riverwalk Lanes, it is $4.50 a string. Yep, 3 throws per frame. First is still a strike, second one is still a spare, third one is just total pinfall.
So you're on your match Echo
Sunday.
Sunday?
Yep.
Who are you facing?
Austin and Katie.
Oh yeah, it's a good match.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. Corey's been bowling really well too, he said, so.
I mean, it's fucking cool.
Yeah, he bowled really well against us on Tuesday.
I was gonna say, I was watching a little bit. He's got you can tell.
Shoulders are never really an issue. Most people who have injuries are usually knees or elbows.
Or pride.
Or pride, definitely. Pride is definitely the thing we get hurt the most. CJ, that's awful. I mean, it's great getting 4 marks in a row, but then 2 gutter balls to fill your strikes?
How you doing?
CJ.
Yeah,
Great story, though. Well, you mean Candlepin, not Candlestick. This is Candlepin bowling. And Lemonade. Lemonade is the Candlepin bowler's drink of choice.
Oh!
That is what I always drink. You got to look at that. While it's a great story, you got to remember 4 marks in a row. That's the way you got to look at it.
There you go!
Nice shot from Sean Landry. Well, listen, I keep this clean, so all I drink is lemonade. You can't see behind the camera, so you'll just have to take my word for it. It doesn't seem as exciting. It is a much faster pace. Now, you don't have to like it. I get that. But honestly, being able to bowl this, you're always trying to get better. There's never been a 300 thrown, so maybe you could be the first one. You never know what's going to happen. Where can you find this sport? Basically, you have to come up to northern New England. So you're going to have to come up to Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Maine, or Vermont, or Atlantic Canada. Definitely a faster pace. Like, someone takes too long to bowl, do they lose a turn? No. Generally, it just irritates everybody around them if they take too long to bowl. Because there's definitely some people who go very slow when they're up there. And there's nothing you can do about it. You just wait your turn, but it is. I swear, Michael, it is much more fun than 10-pin bowling. But it's not for everybody. And I get that. Yeah, nothing in Georgia, I'm sorry. I just want to record a 200 even, Eric. But yes, I would love to have that perfect game on. I feel like that would be a video that would do really, really well. Chris Kaz is bowling okay. The big winner from today so far has been John Lescarbeau. Highest score ever recorded is a 245. It's happened twice. Yeah, unfortunately, if you want to bring this to other places, you guys have to come up with a new automatic pin setter. That needs to be a great strike. There it is. You have to come up with a new pin setter, and then we can start doing it. Do I ever do 10-pin bowling, Stin? Once in a while. It's a good distraction, a different fun thing to do once in a while. Yes. If we haven't seen a perfect game in 140 years, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. No. So the problem is nobody has made a new pin setter since the 1970s. Every pin setter in all these places are over 50 years old at this point. So we just need someone to make some new pin setters. All the other pin setter companies just got out of Candlepin. They don't want anything to do with it anymore. So no AMF, no Brunswick, nothing. They used to make them, but they don't anymore. It doesn't seem that difficult to fabricate, but honestly, they're so simple, the machines in the back, that they don't break down very often. And when they are broken down, you basically just replace a spring or you're replacing something else. And they're very easy to fix. No, there is not. It is a completely different pin setter for Candlepin as compared to 10-pin. I don't know enough about the pin setters to really talk about that. But there's a lot of other people out there who do know a lot about it. And they've told me that if somebody new could make some, then we could start growing the sport again. I don't know a lot about mini bowling. I've only heard of it, but supposedly it's like a 30-foot lane that uses Candlepin balls, but I really don't know. 10-pin lanes and Candlepin lanes are the exact same, 60 feet long, however many feet wide. Whoa! A little bit of a gutter ball there. And another gutter ball on that side. You don't see too many gutter balls, much less back-to-back. So you do want to throw a fastball in Candlepin, but still you have to be accurate with that ball. A fastball will help you a lot. JT all over the head pin. Big split, though. I like Lou's setup a lot better. Yeah, I'm not looking for, like, you know, the best bowlers at all times, CJ. I just think it would be a lot of fun to, you know, have you on the team. So then I just have to see what the wife's doing first. I'll let you know. You can throw a hook. It's just not generally preferred. Generally, you want to throw a harder, straighter ball. I don't know what would happen if there was oil, but since that's not a thing, I don't really know how to answer that. 60 feet long, same as 10-pin lanes. You mean like a 10-pin ball? I've seen people use it before, but it doesn't. It can't go into the machine in the back, the 10-pin ball. It'll actually break the machine. So you couldn't bring a 10-pin ball here and use it. No oil on the lanes, DJ. Nope, these are just straight 10-pin, straight wooden lanes. Okay, well, don't even think about it yet. But I might need a spare once in a while too, so that would be a big help. Foot foul is definitely a thing that can happen. Yep, that first line up there is the foot foul line. The second one is the lob line. Yeah, if you're ever in Massachusetts, you have to come try it. Well worth your time to come here and try it. There you go, a couple nice spares. Yes, it is almost impossible to get a strike. This is the Pro League, Abby, and while I'm a good bowler, these guys are definitely better than I am. So, I bowl plenty of times. I don't need to be here. Also, oof. What are the odds of a strike? For these guys, about 1 in 10. Yeah, Ryan Family Amusement has a bunch of different lanes. I've been told they're all good. I've only bowled in one of them. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be the case. You do get 3 attempts. Yep. First ball is still a strike, second ball is still a spare. That third ball is just total pinfall, and that's it. No marks. Yeah, I've definitely bowled at Metro Bowl. That's where the visiting team is from. Yeah, I did the Super Bowl tournament that they have there. Me and Rich Lottie did the Super Bowl tournament there. Yep, marks are the same as 10-pin bowling. First ball is still a strike, second ball is still a spare. 12 strikes, 300. I've never tried Canadian 5-pin, but it's on my list of things that I really want to try. 90 years old, Star-Lord. Yep, these lanes were built in the 1930s. We don't know exactly when, but that is very true. 245 being the most that's ever happened. Peace out. Oh, great ball there from Sean Landry. Right in the pocket. I think it's every year or so they get a protective coating put on it, but they're not oiled, like on a daily basis or anything like that. Hi, Eric. Good seeing you. Thanks for coming down. Hopefully we see you a lot more. Wow. It's been fun having you. I appreciate it. I'll be live again Sunday at 2 o'clock, or 1:30. Sunday at 1:30 is the next time that I'll be live, Eastern. So, John, this is Riverwalk Lanes in Amesbury, Massachusetts. I have 4 frames to go for each bowler. Thank you guys for the follows and the shares. I appreciate it. You got to go Candlepin bowling. If you haven't been in years, it's a good time. Especially here, you got the nice club right behind me with the cheapest drinks around. Yeah, it is 3 games. Some leagues are 5 games, but this one happens to be a 3 games because you got 5 bowlers. So 15 games just takes a long time to get through. This is like a regular league. It happens every Friday night. It's a travel league. They travel around to all the other different Candlepin houses around here. Ooh, interesting. I've been to Bogey before. Bogey is a fun place. Let's see what John Lescarbeau can do now. All over that 3-pin right now. We actually have a former pro baseball player do Candlepin. He throws a pretty good ball, but still not the fastest ball around. Lita Lanes is fantastic. I love Lita. I'm not sure about streaming worlds. I'll be around. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing for that. Anywhere between 2 pounds 4 ounces and 2 pounds 7 ounces. With most people who have their own are usually going to use 2 6s or 2 7s. Usually guys throw it between 30 and 35 miles an hour. Some people throw it a little bit faster, some people throw it a little slower. Uncle Buck, classic John Candy. You are supposed to wait for the pins to stop moving before throwing your next ball. That is correct. Not much longer. We have the final 4 frames going right now. So probably another 15, 20 minutes. Show you the size of a ball. I can do that. Give me a minute, I'll go grab a ball. No, there is no wood on these pins at all. All right, here's a ball. You guys want to see? See that? Fits right in the palm of your hand. This is just one of the lane balls that they have. No holes, no nothing. This is also the United States. This is Massachusetts, yep. There's actually some Candlepin bowling in New York State. We actually get to use the fallen pins to make our spares and our towns. Oftentimes it's a help, but sometimes it's a roadblock. It is hard for me to show you what the pins are. If you guys stay till afterward, I can show you. There's a bunch of pins set up along the wall with all the different 10 pins, duck pins, candle pins, Boston pins. We got everything. This is Amesbury, Massachusetts. Riverwalk Lanes. We don't have any of the red hot dogs here, no. So this place doesn't have anything really except candy and chips. This is called Candlepin bowling, and it is the best kind of bowling there is. You didn't throw a 10 pin at 53 miles an hour. So generally, these guys throw between 30 and 35 miles an hour on average. Oh, Southampton. I'll be going there in a couple months. I'm doing a tournament there with JT and C. Yeah, 53 with a 10-pin ball sounds insane. Yes, there's still paper scoring here. This place is a very vintage place. It's going for the original feel, and so it still uses pencil and paper. What makes this better than 10-pin bowling, in my opinion? There's a nice strike. The fact that you're all... learning how to make your spares and your 10s and constantly being able to get better, it's just a lot of fun. You get 3 throws, too. More for your dollar. That is a possibility. Highest you can score 300. If you throw 12 strikes in a row, it's still 300. No, Southampton, one word, Massachusetts. No, generally you want to throw a hard straight ball, Mortgage Manny. As a general rule. A little bit of a curve helps, but mostly the hard straight ball is the best way to do it. Highest game I've ever seen, a 204 from Steve Walker. The only 200 I've ever seen in person. Yes. If you learn how to do this well, it will help your 10-pin game, I guarantee. This is definitely bowling, yes. It is just not 10-pin bowling that you might be more used to. You do get 3 throws. First ball is still a strike. Second ball is still a spare, just like in 10-pin. Third ball is the only difference, and that is total pinfall. Much harder. You're talking pro bowlers only having about a 115 to a 120 average. You could still try to hook it. It's just not going to have the same effect. This is Riverwalk Lanes, Amesbury, Massachusetts. No oil on the lanes, obviously. You can see, yeah, you can just literally run right down the lanes and do whatever you got to do. Welcome from Nigeria. Are you that prince who was always sending me emails? Great question about how many lanes. I would say there's probably 50 to 100. Maybe a little more. I don't know. It's hard to really tell you. You really should. There is no foul line in this place. A lot of places will have a foul line. This is just old school, and it's before they had that. And remember, these lanes are 90 years old. Yep, just like in 10-pin, you're going to aim for the pocket. You don't want to hit it on the side like you do in 10-pin. You want to hit it more straight on. Scoring is almost the same as 10 pin, with the only difference being the third throw, and that is just total pinfall, but all the rest of the stuff is the exact same. It is all Candlepin lanes here, yes. Very difficult to get a strike. You have to throw a great ball, and you have to kind of get a little bit lucky to get a strike. 300 has never happened. Nope. 245, most that's ever happened in this game. There you go. Nice shot. It's not, I mean, we don't call that an open box because we did close it. But yeah, no bonus pins out of it for sure. You can definitely curve it. It just takes off the speed of the ball. And again, you want to throw a faster ball in this to get the pin action. So yes, you can curve the ball. It is just not the most optimal way to do it. Difference between Candlepin and Duckpin. Obviously, Candlepins are different shape. The ball's a little smaller in Candlepin. And we leave the wood on the lanes to make our spares and our 10s, and they don't do that in Duckpin. I have been told people can throw it upwards of 50 miles an hour, but that's it. I don't bowl, and though, not in this league. This is the pro bowlers. I'm just down here watching it the same as you guys. If you want to watch me bowl, Sunday, 1:30, I'll be live, and that'll be me. Nope, you don't put anything on your hands. Most people actually don't want the ball to stick to their hands. They kind of want it to be able to roll off. 10 frames, but we do 2 frames at a time. Yes, that was just the 3-pin. That is called a quarter Worcester. And it is one of the worst things to have happen to you. The ball can weigh up to 2 pounds, 7 ounces. Everybody thinks that, Robert, until they try it. An unbelievable shot right there. Until they try it and they realize just how incredibly hard this actually is. Like I said, you're watching the pro bowlers, and you see them still just hitting a single pins, you know, with their first ball. That was a beautiful shot from Freshy at that last one. So now they're going into their final 2 frames of the night. In this game, it looks like Metro is up 11 pins going into the final 2 frames. Yeah, 75 is probably an accurate number that you might get. 230 average is really good. Yeah, generally you're going to see the pro bowlers using 2 7s for the most part, sometimes 2 6s. I would not want to try hooking the ball. Nope, like 10-pin bowling. Generally because you're taking a lot of speed off your ball. And again, speed is something that's important. What is duckpin bowling? It is, it's just another form of bowling out there. I'm pretty sure you do have to be bald in order to do this. That is one of the key things. Yes. So same as in 10-pin. If you get them all down your first ball, it's still a strike with 2 bonus balls. If you get them all down your second ball, you get 1 bonus ball. If you get them all down your third ball, it is just total pinfall, and that's it. So you can get a 10. No Max tonight. Max doesn't bowl in the pro league. Not yet. So you can't use a 10-pin ball here. It would actually break the machine in the back. The pin setter in the back is completely different than the one in 10-pin. Yeah, if you could do that, that would be great. That way you can start doing this. I don't know if there's an opposite of the hair club for men, but just work on that. Listen, I'm a bald guy. I understand it, okay? It is similar to duckpin, yeah. So you get 3 throws like in duckpin, and it is definitely the variation on 10-pin that you might be more used to. So I can see why people would say that. Never been a perfect game. 245 is the most that's ever happened. This is Riverwalk Lanes, Amesbury, Massachusetts. That is fantastic, Alex. I wish I had been there to record it. We're not getting more oil. There's no oil. Al Kecyk Sr. up on the right. Average. In this league, about a 115, I would say. In most regular leagues, if you can average 100, you're going to be one of the better bowlers in your league. And if you can average, like I said, 110 to 115, you can probably start bowling with these guys. That's great to hear. Yeah, it is fun. It's a lot of fun to do. And if you're in this area and you normally bowl 10-pin, you should really give it a try. You'll see it's a completely different game, but it is so much fun. It really is. I love hearing that, Tana. I love hearing that you can't stop watching it. Because that's the way I feel. You know, I really enjoy being here, watching the bowling, and kind of like, I don't know, just being a part of it. It's good. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm not gonna... We don't do any gang wars here, that's for sure. I love having my regulars show up every single week. I really get to know everybody, and it's really fun. That is everybody's thing, Derek White. Everybody seems to think that they can do it better. So generally in 10-pin, if you cut your average in half, if you bowled Candlepin, that's what you would be. There used to be so many shows back in the day, back in the 80s. And now, unfortunately, you guys are stuck listening to me instead of quality commentators. Hey, Josh can bowl right. You know Josh is a right-handed person. He actually writes right-handed. Most strikes I've ever seen someone throw in a row was 4. That's me. I threw 4 in a row. Made $2,500 off that 4 strikes in a row. I won the 4-strike pool at Academy Lanes. So as a general rule, you want to cut your 10-pin average in half. And if you bowled Candlepin, that's what you would have as an average. I love it. I thank you. I don't know if it is high quality or not, but I'll accept it. You want to work here? You should. 108 is a very good score. Yep. I mean, it's better than my average. Do I have games better than that? Of course. Do I have games worse than that? Many times. Yes. Yep. Mark and Melissa Ritchie, fantastic people. Do a great job here. No oil on the lanes. Nope. How strong am I? That is a very weird question, Alex. Out of 10, I would give myself a 6.5, maybe a 7. Yes, this is a lot more difficult than 10-pin bowling. Yeah, Yeah, I throw it between 30 and 35 miles an hour also. It's a very regional sport, Jeff, so it doesn't surprise me if you've never seen this before. It's pretty much only found in northern New England and Atlantic Canada. Yes. Both of these should be easy to pick up. I agree. Should be. You cannot overhand the ball. No, the ball has to be underhand, and the ball has to make contact with the lane prior to this lane right here. That is the lob line. So if you throw it overhand, it would probably go past that and be a foul ball. No, you generally don't want to hook the ball. You generally want to throw a hard, straight ball. The balls weigh between 2 pounds 4 ounces and 2 pounds 7 ounces. Yep, definitely pro shops. They're not as involved as they are in 10-pin because we don't need to drill holes or anything like that in the balls. So generally, there's just stuff you can buy in every place. Absolutely, Robert. Thank you for asking questions and talking about it. Gives me something to talk about every single time. Well, this isn't duckpin, Davey. This is Candlepin. Duckpin is actually easier than Candlepin, believe it or not. Great ball from Chris Cass. Yep, so oftentimes it helps, but not all the time. Sometimes those pins are like roadblocks. No hooking at all, that is correct. I love to talk. See, that's why I do this, because I enjoy talking so much. Yep, you generally, you either look at the pins or you look at the arrows. Yeah, I can deal with the trolls. I'm fine with that. Hooking is when you your ball starts on one side and goes to the other side. Strikes are rare. Wakefield, that dungeon, that is the hardest house out there. So we use 10-pin bowling shoes. Same thing. Generally, you want to slide a lot more than 10-pin to get more speed on the ball. So, but it is the same style of ball, the same style of shoe. Can you talk a little bit more about the shoes and the slide? I mean, we see the same bowling shoes everybody else does. So there's nothing different about those. Like I said, generally you do want to slide a little bit more. .300 games, my arm would fall off. Or do you mean the score of 300? It's possible, but it's never happened. Whoa! Oh, it didn't go. Unbelievable. Yeah, score of 300 has never happened in the 140 years of this history of this game. Very much the East Coast, yep. This is Riverwalk Lanes in Amesbury, Massachusetts. Trying to find out what happened there. If anyone wanted to see the pins, like, we can turn this. Someone was asking earlier for this. So there you got some 10 pins right there. There's some duck pins right next to it. And in comparison, those are all the candle pins. So that's the difference between all the pins. But that is going to be it for tonight, everybody. So if you guys enjoyed this, thank you all so much. It is more difficult than 10-pin, yes. Your average scores for Pro Bowlers only being like 115 to 120. yeah, so if you guys enjoy this, please give me a follow. I super appreciate it. I'll be going live Sunday at 1:30 for a doubles match. Should be a lot of fun. Yes. Riverwalk Lanes won the first 2 games, I think. Lafayette. Lafayette, Riverwalk, it's all the same. No. So Lafayette won the first 2 games. Lost the 3rd game, right?
No. We
No?
lost a third, but we took total. We took
Yeah.
6.
Took 6 points. I know, all of a sudden now it's over and everyone shows up. Wish you guys had shown up earlier, but that's okay. So yeah, please give me a follow if you like this. Thank you for all the gifts, the likes, 33,000 likes. You guys are awesome. And yeah, I'll be back again. Who do you think you are? I am. And I'll see you all on Sunday, hopefully.